Your life is what you make it. And in this video, your life is what you make it with astrology and with the signs of your Ashtakvarga chart. Yes guys. So in this video, I'm going to present to you an amazing technique, right? A technique which is par excellence. And using this technique, you will be able to identify key areas of your life where success is guaranteed, and you will also be able to identify the key areas of your life where success is not that guaranteed. So if you know how the energy is flowing through your horoscope, and if you know how to align your activities and where you must be investing more time, more energy, then you will be able to surmount the insurmountable tasks of your life. So if you want to know about the secret about life is what you make it with the help of astrology, with the help of your Ashtakvarga chart, then first you have to subscribe to Purab's universe, because only if you subscribe to Purab's universe you get access to such different content. And after watching this video in its entirety, if you have genuinely liked this video after watching it till the end, then please hit the like button. If you've disliked this video, please hit the dislike button, but show me your genuine reaction. So hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing great, and I welcome you back to Purab's universe. So guys, life is all about understanding your strengths and weaknesses, what we call as SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity and threat. Similarly, using your Ashtakvarga chart, you can do a SWOT analysis of your life, and you can identify key areas, the areas where you will shine, where even by putting less amount of effort, less amount of work, you can gain the maximum. So imagine that knowing this technique, you will know which are the domains or which are the area where I should dwell and invest my energy and engage myself, and which are the areas where I should stay away from, right? So as you all know, and if you don't know, get to know, there is something called an Ashtakvarga chart in astrology, right? And this Ashtakvarga chart is sort of a digital footprint of your horoscope. So the 7 planets and your ascendant together contributes points to different houses based upon the placement of the planet in Rashi, the placement of the planet in certain houses, the aspects of planet over certain houses. So doing all the permutation and combination, an Ashtakvarga score comes out, right? And this Ashtakvarga score is easily available in any astrology software, which is the latest one and which is using Lahiri Ainamsa. Alright. So now what you have to do is open this software, enter your birth details, your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth and name of course, and after that you will generate your Ashtakvarga chart. And this Ashtakvarga chart will be something like this, or it will be something like first house 37, second house 29, and you have to read your horoscope from the first house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These 12 houses control the different area of your life. The first house represents the body, the mind, the confidence, the health, the vitality, the way you talk, the way you walk, your personality, the way you're carrying yourself. That's the first house. The second house, in short, is the house of wealth, family, lineage and jewelries and collecting things. The third house is the house of media, communication, your younger sibling, your brothers, your efforts, and it is also the house of your short distance travels. The fourth house is the house of your mother, your home, your comforts, your properties, your conveyances, your vehicles, right? The fourth house also represents the chest part, so your heart and lungs are controlled by the fourth house. The fifth house is the house of love, creativity, romance, films, acting, theatre, drama, creativity, politics. All these things are the fifth house. The sixth house is the house of your servants, your pets, the job that you do, the service that you do, competition, competitive activities, service, healing. All these things are the sixth house. Even law, court cases are seen from the 6th house. 7th house is the house of business, partnership, your spouse, marriage, and the dealings and the contracts that you have signed and maintaining them. The 8th house is the house of your longevity. It is the house of transformation. It is the house of your in-laws. It is the house of the savings of your life partner. It is the house of your secret enemies. It is also the house of tantra, mantra, mysticism, occult science, and astrology. The 9th house is the house of your father, fatherly figures, the gurus, the mentors, the teacher, the higher degree diploma courses that you do in your life, the religious journeys, the long distance journeys, the journeys which you do to pursue a higher degree diploma course. That is the 9th house, and it is also the house of law, faith, religion, spirituality. Higher spirituality is the 12th house. The 10th house is the house of your status, your reputation, your bosses, your promotion, the highest achievements of your life. It is also the house which shows your profession, the nature of your profession, and what sort of a situation and atmosphere is going to prevail when you're doing your highest level of achievements or karma. The 11th house is the house of your elder sibling, the fulfillment of your desires, the network circles, the incoming gains, the income that you get, the wealth flows through your 11th house. It is also the house of networking, something like United Nations or Facebook and Twitter, where a large group of people from multifarious religions and culture are coming together. That's the 11th house. And the 12th house is the house of foreign settlement. The 12th house is the house of isolation. The 12th house is the house of bed comforts, expenses, losses, trading with foreign entities. And it is also the house of higher spirituality, that is realizing the highest potential of your life, which is Aham Brahmasmi Tat Tvam Asi, which means I am God, so are you. So this is a nutshell about the 12 houses. I just repeated because I thought for new listeners this would be helpful. Please bear with me. So coming to the point. The point is that the Ashtakvarga chart shows a certain amount of score that you are obtaining in different houses. This is my Ashtakvarga chart. Personal experience, I'm sharing it with you. The first house is gaining 37 points, guys. So the first house is very strong. So the significance of health, vitality, confidence, individuality, your name, fame, the way you talk, all these things are controlled by the first house. And if you have got a score more than 28, that itself is good. Here it is 37, it's very high. So you yourself, your personality will always shine and it will come forward in front of people. This is also the house of bodybuilding. This is also the house of personality development, health, motivational speaking and transformation. All these things are the first house arena. Now the first house is having 37, the second house is having 29, the third house is having 26, the fourth house is having 25, fifth house you can see 29, sixth house 27, seventh house 21, eighth house 29, ninth house 24, 10th house 28, 11th house 35, which is good. The amount of gains and income which you will be getting in your life. Strong 11th house shows fulfillment of desires. And the 12th house is getting 27. Any score which is, let's say, below 26 is very average. So you will always be feeling a sort of a lack of energy, or you will always see that there is not much promise in the life. So in this case, if you see, the 7th house just has 21 points. So the involvement of partners, the involvement of wife, the involvement of relationships in life will be less, because the energy or the amount of charge which is contributed by the planet to the 7th house is less, right? But that's not the point which I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is life is what you make it with Ashtakvarga chart, right? There is a concept in astrology that the 10th house becomes the house of efforts and the 11th house becomes the house of gains. So the 10th house of your horoscope will show how much efforts you have to put in your life, how much work you have to do, and the 11th house of your horoscope shows how much you will gain, the amount of efforts and the ratio of gains. Very simple. Now in this case, you see the 10th house is having 28 points, the 11th house is having 35 points, which translate into something like this, that less amount of work will give more gains, because here 28 is average. So if I do, let's say, if I lift 10 bags of rice and if I place it somewhere, A normal person, if he had his Ashtakvarga score of the 11th house and the 10th house same, then he would be paid, let's say, 100 rupees. But in my case, because I'm having 35 here, so 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 7 points more. So just multiply that into 7, so it becomes 7x. So I will be getting 700 rupees for the same effort. Now if somebody else has less score in the Ashtakvarga 11th house, that is, if somebody has, let's say, 21 here, then he will be paid even less. He will be paid 40 rupees or 50 rupees. You get what I'm saying? So this is the secret, guys. The 10th house, the 11th house. So this is for me. This is my ascendant. So when I will be doing some physical activity with my body and I will be putting some efforts through the 10th house, I will always gain more. Less efforts is equal to more gain. Right? But when you apply this formula to different houses in your horoscope, you can individually pinpoint and identify which are the areas of my life where if I invest and if I work, I will gain more with less efforts, and which are the areas of my life where if I work, I will get less for more work. So I have listed down the houses in my chart where the area and the domain, the arena where I have to align myself and work myself with this digital footprint, right? So first house already I have explained, 37. The efforts or the hard work of the first house is the 10th house, which is 28, and the gains coming from the first house is the 11th house, which is 35. Already I have explained. Now the next gain angle is the third house. So come to the third house. Leave the score which is indicated in the third house. This is written as 26. So that's the third house energy altogether. How much activity I will be doing in the realm of the third house. Now, when you count 10 houses forward from the third house, the 10th house of the third house will show you the amount of efforts that I have to put in order to achieve the things of the third house, like marketing, like communication, like media, like let's say YouTube and all these things. So if you count 10 houses forward, you have to start the count from the third house itself, not the next house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 10th house of the third house becomes my 12th house, which is having a score of 27, guys. And the gains, the 11th house of my third house is the first house. When you count from the third house, the first house becomes the 11th house. Here it is 37, guys. So this is translating into something like, in the field of communication, in the field of my younger siblings, in the field of media entertainment, in the field of marketing, whenever I am doing a short distance journey or whenever I am communicating, the amount of efforts that I am putting is 27, but the amount of gains that I am getting is 37, 10x. So I have to channelize and I have to focus more on the domain of the first house and the third house, because I will be gaining more with less efforts. Check this out in your charts. Similarly, the next area is the 7th house. Even though the 7th house has less energy, it's just having 21. But when you go 11 houses forward from the 7th house, the 5th house becomes the 11th house of the 7th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 5th house is the gain house of the 7th house. And the 4th house is the efforts house, the 10th house from the 7th house. Here it is 25. Here it is 29. So whenever I do a partnership with somebody, whenever I do a dealing with somebody, whenever I get married from my spouse, I will always gain. Less efforts, more gain. But here it is 3x. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Sorry, 4x. The next area where I am gaining is the 10th house. The 10th house is the house of independent business, public duty, politics, coming to a high position, a boss, a CEO of a corporate or something like that. Now the 10th house, when I'm doing activities in the realm of the 10th house, the 7th house is the 10th house from the 10th house. 10th from the 10th. So 7th house will show the amount of efforts that I am putting for the 10th house. Here it is 21, very less amount of efforts. And the 8th house is the gain house, the 11th house of the 10th house. You have to count 11 places forward and it will land in the 8th house, and here it is 29 guys, so 8x. So with very much less of an efforts, I am going to gain more from the 10th house. So the next remaining house is the 12th house. Now the 12th house, the gain house of the 12th house is the 10th house, and the efforts house of the 12th house is the 9th house. So here it is 24 and it is 28, 25, 26, 27, 28, 4x gain. So if I am interacting in the matters of spirituality, if I am interacting and if I am going abroad, if I am settling down abroad, or if I am connecting with people of foreign culture, I am going to gain through those attributes of life. Now either way round, the second house becomes the house of my family assets, the paternal family wealth, the liquidity, the savings, and what benefit I'm going to get from my family, because the second house becomes the Kutumb Bhav. Now when you count 11 places forward from my second house, the 12th house becomes the gain house of the second house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the 11th house becomes the efforts house of the second house. So the 10th from the second is the 11th house, which is showing me the amount of efforts that I have to put to get family wealth or to get inheritance. The second and 8th both are inheritance. So 35 amount of efforts when I will be putting to achieve things of this domain, I will be getting only 27 as results. So when you subtract it, it becomes 8 minus 8. So you have to divide the gains by 8. So this is the way, the areas in which I have to invest my energy such that I can always shine by putting less efforts. Similarly, you open your Ashtakvarga chart, you do this math, you do this calculation and find out which are the areas where you will shine by just putting less amount of efforts and getting more gain, and which are the areas where you are unwantedly wasting time and energy, where you should actually restrain yourself, come out of it and invest your energy somewhere else where you've got gain to make. So this is all about life is what you make it with your Ashtakvarga chart. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button. If you have disliked this video, please hit the dislike button, but show me your genuine reaction, guys. I hope this video will change your life. I hope this concept, if you grasp it properly and if you imbibe it properly and absorb it properly and implement it in your life, you will be able to gain substantially, and you will be ever thankful to me, to Purab's universe, to my gurus, to my pitris, and to God Almighty. Take care of yourself. I love you all. This is Purab signing off from Purab's universe. Adios. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.